Have you ever questioned someone's behavior, wondering if their subtle actions are signs of deeper attraction? Perhaps you've noticed a man lingering a little longer in your presence, seeking opportunities to interact, or showing a magnetic energy that's hard to ignore. It's confusing, isn't it? You're left guessing. Does he like me, or am I reading too much into this? Imagine this scenario. You're at a casual gathering, and he seems to find every excuse to stay close. Maybe he mirrors your gestures, or holds your gaze a second longer than expected. These moments feel significant, but they're so subtle that doubt creeps in. What if you're missing something crucial? In today's video, we'll decode these subtle signs of male attraction through Stoic philosophy and actionable insights. By the end, you'll not only recognize these behaviors, but also understand their deeper meaning. You'll learn how attraction works and how to respond authentically to build stronger, more meaningful connections. Stay tuned, because each sign builds on the last, revealing a complete picture of how men express interest in ways they might not even realize. Plus, we'll share actionable takeaways that align with Stoicism to help you navigate relationships with confidence. If this resonates, share this video with someone who might need these insights. And as we dive in, drop your own story in the comments. Have you noticed these signs before? Let's explore together. 1. He actively seeks your presence and interaction. When a man is deeply attracted to you, his actions speak louder than his words. You'll notice he creates or seizes every opportunity to be near you. It's not always grand gestures, it's often the subtle, consistent effort that tells the story. Perhaps he lingers after a group meeting, volunteers to help with something you mentioned in passing, or shows up at places you frequent without being too obvious. These aren't mere coincidences. They're deliberate choices, a reflection of his desire to connect with you and learn more about who you are. In these moments, he's drawn to your energy, the way you carry yourself, and the quiet strength you exude. To him, your presence feels grounding, like a calm amidst the chaos. This attraction is magnetic yet controlled, restrained yet undeniable. But why does he do this? The answer lies in his intent. A high-value man guided by principles such as Stoicism doesn't waste his energy on pursuits that don't matter. His time is valuable, and his presence is intentional. If he's seeking you out, it's because he sees something extraordinary in you. Imagine a man at a community event, noticing you across the room. He doesn't rush over immediately. Instead, he positions himself nearby, finding subtle ways to join the conversation or help with something you're doing. His approach isn't about being loud or overbearing, it's about consistency, showing you he values your time and presence without demanding it. As a viewer, you might have experienced this subtle attention before, but dismissed it as mere friendliness. Perhaps a coworker started showing up at your coffee breaks, or a neighbor found reasons to chat with you more often. The key is to recognize these small actions for what they are, an effort to connect on a deeper level. However, it's equally important to protect your boundaries and maintain your self-respect. A wise response in these situations is not to overthink or overanalyze his intentions, but to acknowledge his effort with grace. A warm smile, a kind word of gratitude, or even engaging him in conversation shows that you appreciate his presence while staying true to your values. You are not chasing his attention. You're simply recognizing it. This is where Stoicism becomes your ally. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of controlling what is within your power and releasing what is not. His efforts to seek your presence are his own. Your response is yours. You can choose to engage without losing your sense of self. Stay grounded in your worth, and don't let external validation dictate your emotions. A true connection isn't built on fleeting gestures, but on mutual respect and understanding. In another example, imagine being at a bookshop, browsing a section you frequent. A man you've seen before appears and casually asks about your favorite authors. You sense his interest, but instead of letting the moment fluster you, you respond with confidence and poise, sharing your thoughts while subtly observing his behavior. By remaining calm and centered, you reinforce your value, showing that you're not easily swayed by attention, but open to genuine connection. The beauty of this approach is in its simplicity. When you acknowledge his presence without immediately giving all your energy away, you create space for him to show his consistency. This aligns perfectly with Stoic principles, which teach that true strength lies in measured actions and self-control. A man who continues to seek you out over time without overwhelming you is demonstrating not only his attraction, but also his respect for you as a person. As you navigate these interactions, remember that your value isn't tied to his interest. Instead, your self-worth comes from within, from knowing who you are and what you stand for. When you respond to his efforts with grace and authenticity, you not only honor his actions, but also uphold your own dignity. In this way, you're creating a foundation for a connection built on balance, respect, and mutual understanding. The way he seeks your presence is a reflection of his character, but the way you respond defines yours. Let this dynamic unfold naturally, guided by patience and self-awareness. Stoicism reminds us that we can't control others' actions, but we can always control our own, creating a calm and steady path to meaningful relationships. In this balance lies your strength, your beauty, and your peace. 2. His body language shows interest. Attraction isn't always loud. Sometimes it's written in silence, in the unspoken gestures and postures that reveal far more than words ever could. His body language is his quiet confession, a way of communicating what he might not yet dare to say. When drawn to someone, he unconsciously shifts his entire presence toward them. His shoulders are square, his feet align with yours, and even in a crowded room, his focus seems solely on you. His movements soften, creating an invisible connection that pulls you closer. What's remarkable is that these signs aren't forced. They emerge naturally, as though his body is drawn to yours like gravity. You might notice him leaning in when you speak, his posture open and inviting, or his hand resting near yours as though seeking closeness without being intrusive. These small actions reflect his emotional alignment with you, his willingness to be vulnerable, to let down his guard in your presence. This openness is mirrored in Stoic philosophy, which values authenticity and presence. Stoicism teaches us to observe without judgment, to be fully engaged in the moment, and to understand others through their actions rather than just their words. His body language is an expression of these principles. It's a subtle, consistent way of showing you that he respects and values your presence without overwhelming you with words or grand gestures. Picture this. You're at a cafe, sitting across from a man who listens intently as you speak. His posture is relaxed but attentive, his body angled slightly toward you. As you gesture while talking, he mirrors your movements without realizing it. A soft tilt of the head, a light touch to his chin. These subconscious cues signal a deep connection, one that feels natural and comfortable. For the viewer, recognizing these signs can be both affirming and empowering. Perhaps you've noticed someone shifting closer during a conversation or catching themselves mimicking your gestures. Instead of brushing these moments off as coincidence, consider them invitations to connect. But how you respond matters. A confident and self-aware response is key to maintaining your sense of value. For example, when you notice him leaning in or mirroring your actions, match his energy with subtle cues of your own. Lean in slightly, maintain eye contact, or even offer a genuine smile. These small acts create a balanced dynamic, showing him you're open to the connection, but not dependent on his attention. Stoicism reminds us that control over our actions and emotions is essential. Just as his body language reflects his internal feelings, your response should reflect your inner strength and poise. There's no need to overanalyze his movements or rush to conclusions. Instead, focus on being present, observing his actions without letting them dictate your self-worth. Imagine another scenario. You're standing at a networking event, and he gradually moves closer, positioning himself within your conversational orbit. As he speaks, his hands are relaxed, his gestures open, and his gaze steady but kind. You can sense his interest, but rather than seeking validation, you remain poised, responding with measured confidence. This balance not only reinforces your value, but also encourages him to continue showing his interest in a genuine, respectful way. These interactions are not just about attraction, but about mutual respect and understanding. When you notice his body language shifting toward openness, see it as an opportunity to engage with grace and authenticity. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies in measured action, in the ability to observe, reflect, and respond thoughtfully. This approach ensures that you maintain your dignity and composure while allowing the connection to unfold naturally. Responding to his body language isn't about control, it's about creating harmony. By mirroring his openness and maintaining your inner balance, you establish a dynamic rooted in mutual respect. This kind of connection, built on authenticity and emotional alignment, is far more meaningful than superficial flirtation. What do you think? Have you ever noticed someone's body language subtly changing when they're around you? Do you think these nonverbal cues reveal more than words? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your insights could inspire someone navigating a similar situation. As you navigate these interactions, remember that your worth is never dependent on someone else's gestures or attention. Your strength lies in your ability to observe, understand, and respond with calm confidence. In this, you embody the Stoic ideals of presence and authenticity, creating a foundation for connections that are both profound and enduring. 3. He maintains strong eye contact. There's a quiet, undeniable power in the way someone looks at you when their feelings run deep. It's not just a glance, it's a moment that lingers, as though their eyes are searching for something beyond what words can express. His gaze is steady, but it holds warmth and curiosity, a silent acknowledgement of your presence and everything you represent. In that moment, you feel seen, not just for your appearance, but for the essence of who you are. This kind of eye contact is different. It's not casual or fleeting, it's intentional and rooted in connection. You might notice that when he speaks, his focus never wavers. He isn't distracted by his surroundings or looking at his phone. Instead, his attention rests entirely on you. This isn't about dominance or control. It's about a genuine desire to understand and connect. In his eyes, there's a vulnerability, a quiet invitation for you to see him as he sees you. Stoicism aligns beautifully with this idea. The philosophy emphasizes mindfulness and presence, encouraging us to focus on the moment and the people we're with. When someone maintains this level of eye contact, they're practicing a form of mindfulness. They're telling you, I am here, and I value this interaction. It's a simple yet profound way to honor the connection between two people. Picture this: you're sharing a conversation with someone at a dinner party. As you talk about your passion for art, his gaze remains fixed on yours. He nods, his eyes reflecting genuine interest, and when you finish, he responds thoughtfully, as if your words truly mattered. That kind of focus creates a ripple effect. It makes you feel valued, respected, and most importantly, heard. For those watching, recognizing this behavior can help you navigate relationships with clarity. If someone looks at you in this way, it's a sign they're emotionally present and invested in the moment. However, how you respond to this attention matters just as much. A confident response doesn't involve looking away nervously or overanalyzing the situation. Instead, meet his gaze with calmness and poise. Hold eye contact briefly, allowing the connection to deepen naturally, but avoid staring too long, which might feel forced. If the moment feels intense, soften it with a genuine smile. This balance shows that you're both receptive and self-assured. Imagine another scenario. You're at a coffee shop, engaged in casual conversation with a friend. A man seated nearby seems to notice you, and when your eyes meet, he doesn't immediately look away. Instead, his gaze lingers for just a second longer than expected, accompanied by a faint smile. You feel a sense of intrigue, but instead of reacting hastily, you return the smile calmly before returning to your conversation. In that moment, you've acknowledged his interest without giving away too much, maintaining both your grace and your boundaries. This interplay of eye contact and response mirrors the principles of Stoicism. Just as the Stoics taught us to control our reactions and remain composed, your ability to engage with confidence reflects your inner strength. It's about finding peace in the moment, knowing that your worth isn't defined by someone else's attention, but by how you carry yourself. In relationships, the way you hold someone's gaze can communicate far more than words ever could. It shows trust, openness, and a willingness to connect on a deeper level. Yet, it's important to remember that true connection must always come from a place of mutual respect. If his gaze feels too intense or makes you uncomfortable, it's perfectly fine to set boundaries with kindness. Maintaining your emotional balance is key to navigating these situations with dignity. So, what do you think? Have you ever experienced someone looking at you with this kind of intent and presence? Did it make you feel closer to them? Or did it catch you off guard? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences might inspire someone else. As you move through life, let the principles of Stoicism guide your interactions. Use every moment of eye contact as an opportunity to connect meaningfully, but remain grounded in your sense of worth. True confidence isn't about demanding attention. It's about embracing the attention you receive with grace and self-assurance. In that balance lies the essence of authentic connection, one that fosters both respect and understanding. 4. He asks thoughtful and personal questions. Interest is often hidden in the details, in the depth of the questions someone asks. When a man feels a strong pull toward you, his curiosity about who you are becomes undeniable. He doesn't stay on the surface, asking generic questions out of politeness. Instead, his inquiries dig deeper. He wants to know what inspires you, what drives you, and what moments shaped your worldview. His questions are thoughtful and deliberate, and reveal a genuine desire to connect with you beyond appearances. This curiosity is not just about getting to know you. It's a way for him to show you that your mind, your soul, and your story captivate him. It's a quiet celebration of your uniqueness. As you share, he listens intently, not distracted or rushing to respond, but allowing your words to sink in. He seeks to understand, not just to impress. Stoicism values depth and intentionality in relationships, teaching us that meaningful connections are built on authenticity and mutual respect. His willingness to explore your thoughts and feelings reflects this principle. It's a reminder that real interest isn't flashy or performative. It's patient and grounded in purpose. Picture this. You're at a small dinner gathering, and as the conversation drifts, he turns to you with a simple yet profound question. What's one experience that taught you the most about resilience? His tone is genuine, his eyes focused, and his intention clear. He isn't asking to fill the silence, but because he genuinely wants to understand your journey. In that moment, you feel seen, not as a mere acquaintance, but as someone whose perspective matters. For viewers, recognizing these moments is essential. If someone asks you questions that reflect a deep interest in your values and experiences, they likely see something extraordinary in you. However, how you respond shapes the interaction. A poised and thoughtful reply doesn't mean revealing everything at once. Instead, share enough to spark a meaningful conversation while maintaining your sense of self. For example, if asked about your dreams, speak openly but confidently, leaving room for him to ask more. This approach not only fosters a stronger connection, but also ensures that your story unfolds on your terms. Imagine another scenario. You're discussing a casual topic with someone, and suddenly they ask, "What's your biggest passion and how did you discover it?" This question stands out because it invites you to reflect and share something meaningful. You could respond with enthusiasm, offering a glimpse into your world while observing how they engage with your answer. Do they ask follow-up questions? Do they seem genuinely curious? These cues reveal their level of investment in the conversation. This dynamic aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings. Stoics believe in focusing on what is within your control, your actions, your words, and your choices. By answering thoughtfully and authentically, you maintain control of the narrative while inviting deeper engagement. The beauty of this lies in its simplicity. You don't chase validation. You create an opportunity for mutual respect. This also helps protect your boundaries. Not every deep question requires a detailed answer, especially if it feels too personal too soon. A graceful response could be as simple as, "That's a great question, I'll have to think about it." This way, you acknowledge their interest without overstepping your comfort zone. What do you think? Have you ever experienced someone asking you a question that made you pause and reflect? Did it lead to a deeper connection, or did it feel intrusive? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective could shed light on similar moments for others. As you navigate these interactions, let Stoicism guide you. Approach conversations with intentionality, valuing both your story and the space you create for others to share theirs. This balance fosters connections that are not only authentic, but also enduring. A thoughtful question can open doors to understanding, but how you respond determines whether that connection grows or fades. Embrace the power of your words, knowing they carry the strength of your authenticity and the grace of your self-awareness. 5. He finds subtle ways to touch you appropriately. Attraction often reveals itself through touch, not bold, overt gestures, but through the subtleties of physical connection. He may brush your hand as he hands you a cup of coffee, or gently place his hand on your back as he guides you through a crowded space. These moments are fleeting yet intentional, subtle yet significant. It's not the touch itself, but the thought behind it that speaks volumes. His movements aren't random, they're deliberate, a quiet way of expressing his interest while respecting your boundaries. There's an elegance in the way he approaches, a way that acknowledges your worth and invites connection. In these moments, you hold the power. Your presence evokes a response in him that's both tender and thoughtful, a reflection of the way he perceives you, not just as someone beautiful, but as someone deeply valuable. This concept aligns seamlessly with Stoic philosophy. Stoicism teaches us to act with intentionality, to ensure our actions reflect our values and respect for others. When someone reaches out through these subtle gestures, it's not just about their desire to connect, it's also a test of how they manage their emotions and energy. Touch, when used thoughtfully, becomes a tool for connection rather than dominance, mirroring the Stoic ideal of measured and mindful interaction. Picture a scenario. You're standing at a friend's party, engaged in conversation. He joins the group, standing just close enough that his arm lightly brushes yours when he shifts. It's a small, almost imperceptible moment, but you notice. Later, while laughing at a joke, he places a brief hand on your shoulder. It's not invasive or demanding, it's natural, a way to foster closeness without crossing boundaries. For viewers, recognizing these subtle signs of attraction can help them feel more in control of their relationships. If someone shows interest through touch, how you respond sets the tone for what follows. Confidence is key here. Acknowledging his actions while maintaining your personal boundaries allows you to remain both approachable and self-assured. Imagine another example. You're out with a group of friends, and he offers to help you carry something. As he hands it to you, his fingers linger briefly on yours. You could respond with a calm, appreciative smile, meeting his gesture with grace. By doing so, you acknowledge his interest while signaling that you value yourself too much to be swayed by fleeting gestures. Stoicism provides a powerful framework for navigating these interactions. It reminds us to remain centered, to control our emotions, and to respond with intention. You don't need to overanalyze his actions or rush to interpret them as definitive signs of attraction. Instead, focus on how his gestures align with his overall behavior. Is he respectful, consistent, and thoughtful? These qualities matter far more than the touch itself. When responding, maintain a balance between openness and self-respect. If his gestures feel natural and genuine, reciprocate in a way that aligns with your comfort level. A light touch during a shared laugh, or a sincere thank you when he offers assistance. These small actions show that you recognize and appreciate his efforts without compromising your boundaries. What do you think? Have you experienced these subtle gestures in your interactions? Did they make you feel closer to the person, or leave you questioning their intentions? Share your stories in the comments. Your insights could inspire others to navigate these moments with confidence and clarity. In relationships, the power of touch lies in its subtlety. It's not about grand displays, but about creating a connection rooted in respect and mutual understanding. Stoicism teaches us that true strength comes from controlling what's within our power, our actions, our emotions, and our boundaries. By responding thoughtfully to these moments, you embody that strength, showing that your value isn't dictated by someone else's interest, but by your sense of self-worth. As you move through these interactions, remember that your confidence and composure set the tone. His gestures may be a sign of his attraction, but how you respond defines the dynamic. With grace and self-awareness, you can create a connection that feels both authentic and empowering, one rooted in balance and respect. 6. He gets nervous or fidgety around you, sometimes. Attraction often stirs a quiet storm beneath the surface. You might notice his calm composure falter when he's near you. Small, almost imperceptible gestures that betray his emotions. His hands might fidget with his drink, his eyes shift momentarily as he gathers his words, or he adjusts his tie as though trying to perfect his appearance. These signs aren't about insecurity, they're about care. His usual confidence softens because, in your presence, he feels a need to measure up, to be his best. Your presence holds a certain power, one that makes him pause, reflect, and act with intentionality. It's not just about the way you look, but the energy you bring into a room. A calm strength, a quiet elegance. You don't need to demand attention, you naturally command it. And that is precisely why he feels this mix of admiration and nervous energy. Stoicism offers profound insight here. It teaches that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength. For someone guided by Stoic principles, this slight nervousness reflects their emotional investment. They may feel a quiet tension as they strive to balance composure with the depth of their feelings. The Stoic philosophy reminds us that these emotions are part of the human experience, and the key lies in how we navigate them with grace and self-awareness. Imagine this: you're at a networking event, and he approaches you to continue a conversation from earlier. As he speaks, you notice him shifting his weight slightly from one foot to the other. His voice carries confidence, but his hands occasionally brush through his hair or adjust his watch. It's subtle, but it's there, this quiet dance of excitement and uncertainty. His actions say, "I care about how I come across to you." For those watching, these moments might seem small, but they're significant. Nervous energy often signals that someone values your opinion and presence. Yet how you respond to these subtle signs can either ease the tension or amplify it. A wise response doesn't involve pointing out his nervousness or teasing him about it. Instead, offer reassurance through warmth and composure. Maintain a steady tone, a kind smile, or even gentle laughter when appropriate. These subtle actions create a safe space, allowing him to relax without feeling judged. Imagine another situation. You're meeting someone for the first time, and during the conversation, he accidentally stumbles over his words. Instead of making him feel self-conscious, you nod, offering a lighthearted response that shifts the focus back to the conversation. In doing so, you not only ease his discomfort, but also demonstrate emotional intelligence and empathy. This approach ties back to Stoicism, which emphasizes the importance of controlling what's within your power, your reactions. By responding with kindness and understanding, you remain grounded, turning potentially awkward moments into opportunities for connection. It's also essential to protect your boundaries during these interactions. While his nervousness may be endearing, it's not your responsibility to fix it. You can acknowledge and appreciate his effort without losing sight of your comfort and confidence. Maintaining this balance ensures that the connection grows from mutual respect rather than misplaced pressure. What's your experience with this? Have you ever noticed someone acting a little differently around you? As though your presence brought out a mix of excitement and hesitation. Did it make you feel closer to them, or did it catch you off guard? Share your stories in the comments. Your perspective might resonate with others navigating similar moments. Attraction is often layered with vulnerability, and that's what makes it so human. When someone allows themselves to feel a little nervous around you, it's a reflection of how much they value the interaction. Stoicism teaches us to embrace these emotions, not as signs of weakness, but as evidence of connection. By staying grounded and compassionate, you can navigate these moments with poise, fostering a dynamic that feels both genuine and balanced. Let these interactions remind you of the strength in staying true to yourself. His nervousness is his, and your confidence is yours. Together, these elements can create a connection that feels as steady as it is heartfelt, rooted in mutual respect and authenticity. 7. He pays attention to his appearance when he's with you. Some actions reveal more than words ever could. A man who feels a deep pull toward you will often take extra care with his appearance. It's subtle yet intentional. A crisp shirt, polished shoes, or a hint of cologne. These details may seem trivial, but they speak to his desire to present himself as someone worthy of your attention. It's not vanity, it's respect. In your presence, he wants to reflect his best self, ensuring every detail aligns with how he perceives you. Remarkable and deserving of effort. This level of attentiveness highlights the impact you have. Your energy makes him pause and consider what it means to be seen by you. Your presence isn't ordinary. It's inspiring. There's beauty in how you carry yourself, a blend of strength and grace that naturally elevates those around you. He doesn't want to take that lightly, and his effort shows he values the opportunity to share a space with you. This behavior aligns seamlessly with Stoicism. The philosophy teaches us to act with purpose and mindfulness, even in the smallest things. Attention to appearance in this context is a reflection of intentionality. It's about creating harmony between one's inner values and outer presentation, a way of showing respect for oneself and others. Picture this. You're meeting a friend for lunch, and he happens to be there too. He's dressed casually but thoughtfully, pressed jeans, a neatly buttoned shirt, and well-groomed hair. As he walks over to say hello, you notice him subtly adjust his posture or smooth his shirt. It's not about seeking validation, but ensuring he leaves a positive impression. This silent effort speaks volumes about how he views the interaction. For viewers, recognizing this behavior offers an opportunity to appreciate the unspoken gestures of respect and interest. But how you respond is equally important. Acknowledge the effort with kindness, perhaps a genuine compliment on his style, or a simple comment like, "You look sharp today." These words create an atmosphere of mutual respect while maintaining your composure and boundaries. Imagine another scenario. You're attending a community event, and he unexpectedly shows up. You notice he's wearing a blazer, something he doesn't usually do. When he greets you, he adjusts his watch or straightens his tie, small actions that signal his intention to make the interaction meaningful. You respond with warmth, but stay grounded, recognizing his effort without allowing it to dictate your energy. This balance reflects the Stoic ideal of self-control. While his actions may seek your attention, your response is yours to own. Acknowledging his care without over-investing emotionally shows that you value both his effort and your boundaries. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, while letting go of the need to manage how others perceive us. What do you think? Have you ever noticed someone paying extra attention to their appearance when they're around you? Did it make you feel appreciated, or did it raise questions about their intentions? Share your experiences in the comments. Your insights might help others navigate similar situations with clarity. By observing these moments and responding thoughtfully, you create an environment where mutual respect thrives. Recognizing his effort doesn't mean compromising your standards or letting his gestures dictate the dynamic. Instead, it's an opportunity to foster a connection rooted in authenticity and shared values. Stoicism reminds us that respect begins within. When someone makes an effort for you, it's a reflection of how they perceive your worth. But your value isn't defined by their actions. It's grounded in your self-awareness and inner strength. Responding with grace while maintaining your sense of self ensures that the connection remains balanced and meaningful. As you move forward, let these interactions be a reminder of your own worth. His effort is his choice. Your response is yours. Together, they create a moment of connection that honors the principles of respect, intentionality, and authenticity. This is the foundation of relationships that not only endure, but elevate both individuals involved. 8. He shows mild jealousy in a healthy way. Jealousy, when expressed with restraint, can reveal how much someone values the connection they feel with you. It's not loud or possessive, but subtle and measured. Perhaps a slight shift in his tone when another man is mentioned, or a quiet curiosity about your relationships. His reaction doesn't stem from insecurity, but from the significance he places on the bond between you. It's his way of saying, "I care about this connection," without needing to spell it out. This form of jealousy is nuanced. It doesn't seek control or dominance, but instead reflects a deeper emotional investment. And it's a testament to your unique energy, The way you carry yourself, confident yet approachable, exuding an inner strength that draws people in. Your presence inspires respect and admiration, making others feel seen and valued, which naturally leads to protectiveness in someone who holds you dear. Stoic philosophy speaks to this balance. While jealousy can often be seen as a negative emotion, Stoicism reminds us that emotions themselves are neutral. It's how we respond to them that matters. A man guided by Stoic principles will not allow jealousy to control him, but will instead use it as a signal to reflect on his values and actions. His ability to maintain composure and act with intention reveals his emotional maturity and respect for you. Imagine this scenario. You're casually mentioning a male colleague who helped you on a project, and he listens attentively. Though he doesn't interrupt, you notice his shoulders stiffen slightly, or he offers a thoughtful comment to shift the conversation back to your achievements rather than the colleague. It's subtle, respectful, and balanced. His reaction shows he values you and the space you share, but doesn't overstep into controlling behavior. For viewers, recognizing this type of mild jealousy can help in navigating relationships with clarity. It's not about dismissing or avoiding it, but understanding its root and responding with grace. If you sense his curiosity or slight discomfort, acknowledge it with calm confidence. Share your thoughts openly, but avoid over-explaining or justifying yourself unnecessarily. This reinforces your boundaries while maintaining mutual respect. Imagine another example. You're at a social gathering, and someone else approaches to strike up a conversation with you. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice him glancing over, his expression subtly shifting. Instead of reacting possessively, he remains composed, allowing the moment to unfold naturally. Later, he might joke about the interaction or express his thoughts in a light-hearted way, signaling his interest while respecting your independence. This dynamic ties back to Stoicism's core teachings. Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control, our emotions and actions, while releasing attachment to what lies beyond our power. His restraint in expressing jealousy reflects this principle. Instead of letting the emotion dictate his behavior, he approaches it with mindfulness, ensuring it doesn't harm the connection he values. What about you? Have you noticed someone displaying this kind of healthy jealousy? Did it make you feel appreciated, or did it raise questions about their intentions? Share your insights in the comments. Your perspective might offer guidance to others navigating similar moments. Responding to mild jealousy with wisdom means balancing openness and boundaries. If his curiosity stems from genuine care, acknowledge it kindly, but don't feel the need to alter your actions to appease it. Confidence in your choices and respect for yourself create a space where both individuals can thrive without compromising their individuality. Stoicism teaches us that emotions like jealousy can be a catalyst for growth. When managed wisely, they highlight areas of vulnerability, offering opportunities to strengthen connections. For him, it's a chance to reflect on his feelings and act with integrity. For you, it's a moment to affirm your value without losing sight of your independence. Let this be a reminder. Relationships thrive when both parties respect each other's autonomy while nurturing the bond they share. By staying grounded in your worth and responding with empathy, you create a dynamic rooted in trust, understanding, and balance. A connection that stands the test of time. Attraction is often found in the subtleties, in the quiet actions, fleeting glances, and thoughtful gestures that reveal deeper emotions. The signs we've explored today are not just about understanding male behavior, but about recognizing meaningful connections rooted in respect, intentionality, and emotional alignment. These moments remind us that relationships are built on more than words. They thrive on authenticity, patience, and self-awareness. Stoicism teaches us that the strongest connections come from within. By practicing mindfulness and focusing on what you can control, your actions, emotions, and responses, you cultivate inner peace and clarity. These principles don't just help you understand others, they empower you to approach relationships with confidence, grace, and respect for your boundaries. Take these lessons and apply them in your daily life. Notice the subtle ways people express interest, respond with warmth, but remain grounded in your values. Every interaction is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional resilience and build connections that are genuine and fulfilling. As you reflect on these insights, remember that true self-worth isn't tied to someone else's attention. It comes from embracing your own values, carrying yourself with quiet confidence, and letting your actions reflect your inner strength. What about your experiences? Have you noticed these signs in someone's behavior? How did you respond, and what did you learn from it? Share your stories in the comments below. Your reflections could inspire and guide others navigating similar moments. Practice these lessons every day, using each interaction as a way to refine your understanding of yourself and others. In doing so, you not only deepen your connections, but also nurture the balance and calm that Stoicism celebrates. This is your journey toward building meaningful relationships, one thoughtful step at a time.